Welcome everyone to Old Roommates. Today on the show, we revisit 1974's Young Frankenstein. So pour yourself a glass of warm milk and Ovaltine and join us as we revisit this Mel Brooks classic.
Welcome, everyone, to Old Roommates, the only podcast that revisits pop culture through a middle-aged lens. This is Christina.
And this is Brian.
And we revisited, it's a week before Halloween, so it's not quite our Halloween episode.
No.
Young Frankenstein. Brian, I have to hear, what is your history with Young Frankenstein?
My history with Young Frankenstein is I was a kid. My dad used to love watching this movie. And I remember thinking, I can't wait to be a grown-up so I know what to laugh at. Because so many things freaked me out when I was young. And, yeah,
you were kind of a wuss, weren't you? Or do I have to mention the Laverne and Shirley episode?
Stop it, Christina. That scared me. So Igor, terrifying. Yes. The monster,
Igor.
Scary. Igor, oops. Gene Wilder, scary.
I mean, Marty Feldman is a scary looking guy without the makeup, without the costume. Go on.
Yeah, and then and just I think just the subject matter. So it was but knowing it was a comedy and seeing people laughing at the movie. But yeah, and then I think I did watch it when I was a teenager and still was maybe I'm just not a fan of the genre that it's spoofing to laugh. But I just thought it was fine. But when I was a kid, I didn't really like it at all. I just lost. I didn't get it. Get it. And I feel there are comedies. I mean, I was a kid watching comedies. I could laugh. I knew what laughter was and humor. But this movie just didn't register for me as a kid or a young person. And I haven't seen it since then in a very, very, very long time.
Sure.
So how about with you, Christina?
So with me, I think I found the humor a little bit more than you did. But I didn't find it to be hilarious.
Yeah.
I remember certain parts were funny. Put the candle back. I mean, that kind of stuff was hilarious. The horses, every time her name was... Things like the obvious humor, I thought was hilarious. Yeah. But as far as I almost feel like it was too long as a child to appreciate it all. Because it was in black and white. Yeah. The tone of it.
Actually, no shit. I mean, the black and white as a kid is the biggest turnoff you can imagine.
Right, of course, you just automatically, it's this old movie.
That's a really good point.
It didn't necessarily scare me. Nothing really was threatening to me. Even the monster didn't seem that very, very scary to me. But it just felt like maybe it was a bit boring, except for some of those outwardly funny moments.
The broad comedy.
Exactly. Physical comedy, things like that. But it was one of those things. I mean, I was obviously a little older than you when I saw it. I don't remember exactly, but I was a child. And those particular scenes definitely stayed with me my whole life. They made an impact enough for me to remember it. So, when did you watch it?
Thank you for asking. I think I did watch this about a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Carl watched, I think, most of it with me. All of it with me.
I mean, when was the last time you watched it? You watched it as a teenager was probably the last time?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I really can't. And if it was, Carl might be no, we watched it, 20 years ago. But I don't remember. Okay. If that matters. So, watched it a couple weeks ago and just dive right in.
Yeah, just dive right in.
It took I'm just going to be honest. I mean, God bless. This movie is highly praised. I feel this is not going to be a shining moment.
Okay.
For, folks that remember the episode of The Shining. But this movie is consistently in the best comedies of all time. It's always written up. It was, nominated for a couple of Oscars, Golden Globes, even in horror, the horror world, in sci-fi world, it's considered a masterpiece and all this stuff. But having now seen many Mel Brooks movies, I think, and knowing the acclaim of this movie, I was expecting kind of like a laugh a minute, almost like an Airplane, like a Zucker Brothers type of thing. But I'm telling you, it takes a long time for that first laugh. And I just felt like there was like wasted time, like wasted moments that could have been so much funnier. And like even in the beginning, I'm watching the opening credits, which I swear to God take 5 minutes. Like, and it's like this really long shot. And I was reminded of Spaceballs, where I'm like, you know, in Spaceballs, it just, the opening, it just, they made it funny because it was these long shots of like, whether it's the spaceship that goes on forever or the scroll that goes on forever. Like, there could have been something really funny. But the opening credits are so long that I'm like, maybe, what am I not seeing in this moment right now? And I kept looking and looking for the funny things. I'm telling you, I think the first time I laughed was someone said, "You mother-grabbing bastard." And then when he said, "It's Frankenstein."
Right.
But, wow, it took a long time for that first laugh. How about you?
So I watched it a couple of days ago.
Oh,
and
okay.
Truth be told, I do consider this a revisit, for sure.
Yeah.
But in the past few years, this is one of my husband Matt's favorite movies.
Oh my God.
So on Halloween, he would put it on.
Yeah.
So I've seen the beginning a few times.
Yeah.
But it's one of those movies where, like, we just put it on too late and I'm asleep in, like, 20 minutes or so. So I don't really consider that I watched it recently. But I watched it in full a couple nights ago. Matt watched it with me. Emily watched it with me. I don't think Emily made it through the whole thing. I can't remember now. She might have. But here's the thing. I have a question for you, actually.
Oh, okay.
So you say now that you're an adult, you've seen other Mel Brooks movies. Have you seen other classic horror movies? Because
zero.
I think that is what would make the difference between having this movie be really funny and really long.
Yeah.
I think that is what they're really banking on. It's definitely not a laugh a minute, but this is based obviously on, I thought it was based on Son of Frankenstein, but I just looked it up real quick and it's just based on the original Frankenstein. I think, and I have not watched those movies.
Oh.
What?
Well, I guess then you could have made that line of questioning a little less judgmental.
Don't feel judged. Don't feel judged, even though you should be judged. I think that if you watched that movie, you'd probably see more of the humor.
And maybe if you watched that movie, maybe you would see more of the humor too.
Well, I did see the humor, even without having to watch it, because I have what you call an imagination.
Me too.
I could see what they were...
Right now, I'm imagining how nice it would be to end this episode.
Stop it. All right, click. I'm just kidding. So, but I think that's what makes it so classic to people. It's probably pretty accurate in terms of the tone and the verbiage.
They use the same
actual equipment.
Props.
Yes, the
same props
equipment.
from some of the other movies. Yes, yeah.
So I think that's where it's getting its charm.
It's almost like more
acclaim.
like a humorous homage than a parody.
Yes, that's excellent.
A humorous homage.
Yes, judgment has been lifted. However, with that being said, I actually really enjoy this movie because, not necessarily because of the script or anything like that, but because of the cast. The cast, to me, made this worth watching. It made me really appreciate the movie. With Cloris Leachman, a laugh a minute, she's 1,000% in this movie. All in. Actually, I said that wrong. She's not in it very much.
No.
Which is one of my critiques. Madeline Kahn is also one of my favorites. Not in it as much as I had hoped. So, it's not that the movie was great, but it's the performances and the acting and the casting. And then, once you can appreciate that, Brian...
Oh...
then you can appreciate what they're trying to do, trying to be in these characters. So I didn't not like it as much as you did. Sitting there with Matt, because, when you're with somebody that is appreciating it.
Do you hear yourself? So, fun fact, Christina does all the editing for these episodes. I cannot wait till you hear yourself talking to me right now.
You will certainly not hear that sentence.
The number of...
I know, I've said appreciate a million times.
The number of times you've said I've mansplained things. Christina, you should really listen to yourself. And by the way, all I have said is it took a while for the first laugh. That's all I've said so far.
Listen.
That's all I've said. Because guess what?
This is not a judgment on you.
Guess what?
This is not a judgment on you. Why are you feeling so attacked?
Because you're attacking me.
You know what it is? This movie has sparked some of the terror that you felt watching this movie. This is going to be a therapy session. Forget about the revisit. Brian, how does this movie make you feel?
Oh my God. All right, so I'm just saying. Oh my God, I think you said it. I think you said it, Christina. I think you said it an hour and a half ago.
I'm just saying I enjoyed it.
Great. And guess what? Little Miss Voice of a Generation.
How did you get your voice so high just then? Go ahead and talk.
I'm gonna
ginger chew while you try to explain
I'm gonna cut to the chase.
I was not attacking you.
I'm gonna cut to the chase right now. I enjoyed it more.
Than
before. Well, I enjoyed it more.
You hated it before.
So, my next note is Madeline Kahn.
Love her.
Oh my God, do I miss her so much.
Oh my God.
The lipstick, the hair, the taffeta, the nails. Like, she
and
is so...
ducking from blowing the kiss.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It just got funnier and funnier.
There's quite a bit of ad-libbing. I did a little bit of research. And when she says no tongue, that was ad-libbed. But I'm going to tell you, so when I was a kid, Igor really, really, really freaked me out. Like, I didn't... There's also something that, I'm going to be honest, I still struggled with, where I feel like with the character of Frankenstein's monster, played by Peter Boyle, there's something, and I don't know where this stems from, and I never watched the Frankenstein movies. I kind of felt bad for the monster. Like, even the putting on the Ritz thing, like, I was like, this is like... I don't know. I mean, yeah, is it funny to put Frankenstein's monster in this weird situation? I guess. But...
He was pretty good.
It's the exploitiveness that still feels a little weird. And maybe because it's in black and white. I'm reminded of, like, The Elephant Man. Maybe the acting... I have a very, very... My biggest note in all my notes for this...
Go ahead.
You clearly have something to say. You just spat your ginger chew out. Did your tooth fall out?
No, oh my God, this is terrible.
What happens is...
No, it's part of the ginger chews. It's like a big hunk of ginger.
Oh, cool. Well, it's not good thing it's
I thought it was a piece of wrapper, but...
Oh. So,
This episode...
This is a disaster.
You know what? If this is your first time listening,
We apologize. So, here's my biggest note. Gene Wilder is, like... Oscar caliber good in this movie. He is electrifying. He is so committed. He's electrifying. Oh my God. I am so funny. I am so funny. He is so good. And yet, he's not funny in this. That is my big controversial statement of the whole episode. So everyone get out of your system. I've said it.
He's playing it straight.
He's playing it straight. But the thing is, Christina, is that when you read about this movie, it's like Gene Wilder, one of the funniest comedians.
Well, he wrote it, right?
He co-wrote it, yeah. And with Mel Brooks. And so, but, I mean, he is that good. I'm going to say something similar with Cloris Leachman. I remembered as a kid loving her and thinking she was so funny. And maybe because Carl and I are doing a Mary Tyler Moore rewatch, I was expecting so much more and more scenes of her and just funnier bits. But she was another character that I felt a little sad for sometimes. And I think it's because had there been more broad laughs, just more stupid shit, silly laughs, I think I would have felt more comfortable laughing at everything. But because some of the laughs... There's those big stretches without a laugh that it switches gears for me, and it becomes more of an, like I said, like more of an homage than than a comedy, and that's all. So but it's a big note. I didn't love it, but I certainly liked it more than I did before.
Okay, well, I guess that's the episode.
But Igor, Marty Feldman, is so damn funny. It's Igor that's hilarious. How about
did you?
He's like the.
Do you also say Frodrick?
How about when he's like, was your hump on the other side? Is
yeah.
What hump?
He's so good. He is probably my favorite.
Oh,
in the entire movie.
I wrote I heart Igor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love. He's my favorite character in this.
Yet you said it wrong the first time you said it, which is interesting.
I know.
He's by far my first, and Madeline Kahn is my second, and Cloris Leachman is my third.
I mean, I love Terry Garr in this, though.
Oh my god, and Terry Garr, yeah.
God.
But I think
they're also good. There are scenes when it's Cloris, Terry, Marty, and Jean right in front of the door. Yeah. The whole thing with like open the door, whatever, and that is so funny to me because you can see the joke coming a mile away, whether you've seen the movie or not. I would argue that it's just, but the four of them, they're all like almost in their own little movies, and it's so funny and cute. And I wish more of the movie was like that. I wish there were more scenes with all the characters at the same time mingling.
Yes, yeah. I agree.
Careful, master. It might be dangerous. You go first.
Yeah.
Or how about Inga? Doctor, stop! You'll kill him.
Oh my god! Yes, it was right. Yes, I have it written down too. Right before that, if science has taught us anything, it is to accept failure with quiet dignity and grace. And then he freaks out. He's like, "Get up, you bastard! I'll ruin you!" And then she says, "Doctor, stop it! You'll kill him." Oh my god, so damn funny. How about you haven't even touched your food? Did you laugh at that?
Oh, which one was which?
They were eating dinner and they're talking about how it was a failure, and he's like not eating. She's like, "You haven't even touched your food," and he just sort of touches it off.
Oh yeah.
That made me laugh. I forgot about that.
Oh well, do you remember in the Golden Girls? They took that joke.
They did?
Yeah, from Young Frankenstein because
how do you work the Golden Girls and do every single one of our episodes? It's a gift.
They're at So Rose plans a birthday party at a clown. It's like
my
one
god,
of those, like,
I love that episode.
Type places. And so Rose is looking at Dorothy, whose birthday it is, and she's like, and Dorothy does not want to be there, and she's like, "Dorothy, you haven't even touched your Mr. Ha-Ha dog." And Dorothy's like, "Oh, you're right." There. And just like fucking like hot dog and chips on her hand. She's like, "There, God. I touched it."
I love it.
So good. Then, very funny.
That same scene, this is Igor. "I'll never forget what my dad used to say." And this is like they're talking about the failure and all, right? Like, what? What the hell are you doing in the bathroom all day and night? Why don't you get out of there? Give someone else a chance for a change.
I want a supercut of just Igor.
Oh my god!
How about
so
when his own
funny.
hand scared him?
Oh,
remember this? He was doing something just like.
I do not have a ton of notes on this
really?
movie,
Okay.
by the way.
I just read some of this stuff is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The townspeople, the elders, like it's really not played for laughs. Like, and I just wish the whole. I wanted more. And but Gene Wilder, I mean, Jesus Christ, what a performance! He's so good in this.
So good in this, and I don't know. I liked that he played it straight. I did like that. God. But I think because he can be so funny, I was hoping, I don't know. But you can't, expectations.
I can't change, I can't change it, but, I think there's expectations.
Yes.
Igor just lights a cigarette in the middle of like, there's all this stuff happening, and he's just like, lighting a cigarette. Oh my God. It's really funny. And then the charades, which is really funny.
Oh my gosh,
because
I did love that.
With Laverne and Shirley, the same thing happened, remember?
Yes!
With Shirley. And she was poisoned.
An homage.
Maybe.
When
and he's like, set a give. And finally he's back and he's like, set a give?
Well, the best was like when just a few minutes later they're fighting again. He's like attacking. I think he was attacking Marty Feldman, and all of a sudden, what's Terry Garr's name?
Inga.
Inga comes running over. Okay, 3 words. Like she starts playing it again. That made me laugh.
I wrote the dart throwing really made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is cheating. By like he's like coughing and sneezing or saying like emphasizing words and stuff to make him miss.
Yes. Yep. That was funny.
Really
that
funny.
Was funny.
And that his name's Kenneth Mers, right? The actor. And is he not the same guy from when we did the episode with what did we miss? What was that movie with Barbara Streisand?
Oh,
What's Up, Doc?
What's Up, Doc?
Wasn't he in that? And is he the voice of Ariel's dad in Little Mermaid?
I think he is.
I think so. But I thought that was great. He has the monocle over the eye patch, which is like I didn't even notice it at first. I think I really funny. Watched like so much of the movie, and then I was like, oh, and it was very funny.
Yeah, he was good. I liked that character.
Yeah. He
was a good character.
But I like the stupid shit. I like that whole thing with him like trying to distract the attention from the dart playing and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was. I liked that too. I agree. There were some long stretches without any of that.
Yeah.
I didn't really love when, and I think this is probably going to be controversial.
Uh-oh.
But I didn't really love the whole part when the monster kind of escapes and he bumps into like the Gene Hackman character. Yeah. I felt that was kind of like a snooze. I think I expected more. I think that's why. But it was like the same joke over and over again. I'm like, can you do something else?
At the expense of a blind person.
No, it wasn't his problem, but I mean, he was being not really made fun of, but no, it was at the expense of the poor monster. He was the one that was getting
spilling soup and So, Gene Hackman was tennis friends. He played tennis a lot with Gene. Yeah, Gene Hackman played tennis a lot with Gene Wilder.
Okay.
And
is that why they decided to keep the names the same?
When Gene Wilder told Gene Hackman about the movie he was doing, he's like, "Oh my gosh!" And he said, "Do you think you could? I think I can be in it." And he's like, "Oh God, we don't have anything." And so he created this role because Gene Hackman really wanted to try comedy. He's like, "You don't have to give me, you don't even have to put my name in the credits," and they don't. And so, so he got to play this blind hermit. I think is his name just Blind Hermit or Blind Man or something?
I don't know, probably.
So, but I think I know what you mean. It's like, oh yes, the man is blind, so therefore all of the humor comes from that.
And I feel like people talk about that scene a lot.
Yeah, they do.
And I don't know. I just didn't really feel it was that great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I thought it was fine. It was
fine.
I don't think it went on. I don't think it went on too long, but I understand
expectations.
Yeah.
The expectations were up there.
Igor biting Elizabeth's fox.
Oh.
So allegedly that scene took 15 takes.
Oh my gosh.
Because every time he bit the fox, fur came out.
Oh my gosh.
In his mouth, and everyone kept laughing, so it took him a long time for everybody to stop. I can't imagine the bloopers.
I would love
of this movie. I would love to watch
because
that's
a lot of what I read about this movie was just they had to take so many different takes. Just walking up the candle, the unlit candles. I guess Gene Wilder just could not keep a straight face. Like they had to keep doing all these takes of it. Just because Cloris was so funny.
Yes.
And even Cloris Leachman was like, I don't know why it was so funny.
Yes. She from what I always thought he had a problem with her. It was eventually like she was starting to have a problem with him. He found her so funny. He couldn't stop laughing. And she was like, all right, enough.
Well, she was such a professional.
Yeah.
I think that would happen.
Well, I'm trying to think at that point, had she won an Oscar for, The Last Picture Show? Oh, God.
Yeah, I think that was before this.
That was before, yeah. So she's an Oscar-winning actress. This is 1974. So Mary Tyler Moore, I believe, started in 1970. So Cloris Leachman had already been on Mary Tyler Moore, probably already perhaps won an Emmy and an Oscar at this point. So, yeah, you're right. She's a total professional, I'm sure. But I'm sure she can have some fun as well.
Yeah, but I agree.
But after so many takes, you just want to get it over.
She's probably like, I gotta do stuff. I gotta go polish my Oscar.
Yeah, exactly. I had to go back to the Mary Tyler Moore show.
Was she an EGOT?
No.
Are you sure?
What? So, if you're done challenging me.
I was curious. There was not a challenge.
I don't understand this note that I wrote.
I don't understand why you're so defensive this episode.
I don't understand this note I wrote. The inspector yelling, what? The inspector yelling and the people saying, what? We must catch the monster. Was he just talking way too much? I think he had like a crazy accent. And all the people were like, what?
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, and I wrote, lots of Frau Bocher scenes are actually a little sad for my middle-aged lens. I felt bad for her at times.
Oh, I thought she was all right. I didn't feel sad for her. I thought she was really funny when they, like, have, like, the whole revelation of, you left the book there for me. Yes! And you knew this. Yes! It was your cigar smoke. Yes! He was my boyfriend. That was like the big revelation. It was so damn funny.
Yeah, and then I wrote for the putting on the Ritz thing. I just feel like we're laughing at him, not with him.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I read something kind of interesting about that scene. Like, so Gene had written that scene, and Mel Brooks didn't want it. Did you hear about this?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and they had like a big, huge argument.
Yeah.
And then finally he's just like, fine, you can put it in. And he's like, why did you argue with me? So he's like, well, I wasn't sure about it, but I knew if you argued it, it was worth putting it in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's good. But maybe he should have argued it a little bit.
Speaking of Frau Bocher before, warm milk and Ovaltine was an ad lib.
Oh.
The blind hermit, Gene Hackman, said, I was going to make espresso. That was an ad lib.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice when you're watching it, that is quickly cut away from when he says espresso, the screen goes black. The crew busted out laughing like instantly, and I guess they tried to do it again, like, oh no, say that again, it'll be so funny. And they couldn't quite get the timing right, so they just kept the first take. And they kept laughing. The cat scream with the darts. That was Mel Brooks making a cat sound off screen.
Oh, very interesting.
What else? I don't have too many notes, I gotta say.
I don't have a ton of notes either. Oh, here's another Igor reference when Gene says, help me with the bags. Certainly, I'll take the blonde. You take the one with the turban. That was funny. Madeline Kahn comes back. Yeah. Hooray. The no tongues, so funny.
Yeah, it is a little awkward with
the
rape.
Potential rape scene.
Yeah.
But yes, I was a little cringed about that. Yeah. A little bit. But he was a monster. And then she got very excited when she saw the big penis.
Oh, sweet mystery of life. Yeah.
And then she complains that it was only 7 times. She's like, I didn't write this one down, but she said something to the effect of, you guys are all the same. 6 or 7 good ones, and then you're on your way.
Let's see. I don't have too much. I love Madeline Kahn. Oscar nom. So I have some trivia, if we're ready for trivia.
I have one more line that I laughed at with Madeline Kahn, and it was like one of her last lines. She's, when you figured it together, you know, she and the monster are now together.
Yes.
And she says, I put another hamper in the bathroom for you. And one's for you, and the other one is for your socks and poo-poo undies.
Let's see. So, trivia, Oscar nominations, screenplay, and sound.
Oh.
Golden Globe nominations. This is going to surprise you, Christina. Cloris Leachman, lead actress in a comedy. Lead.
Wow.
And Madeline Kahn, supporting. Those are 2 nominations. The movie has won multiple...
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to see the number of scenes and lines for each of those actresses, because I would almost think Madeline was in it more.
I wonder that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2014 interview, Mel Brooks considered Young Frankenstein his best film, but not his funniest. He put Blazing Saddles and The Producers ahead of Young Frankenstein.
Did you ever see Blazing Saddles?
I did. Loved it.
That's something we could revisit at some point.
I have...
I guess, spoiler alert, you loved it.
Oh, yeah, so the big question. More, less, about the same.
I think I would say more.
It's also more for me as well.
Yeah, I think it's a more for me. I mean, again, I would take out a few things. I mean, it was very long and drawn out, and I think it was intended to be that way because it was supposed to mirror the other movies or whatever. Yeah. But it did lose a little bit of something with some of the
pacing.
Pacing, exactly.
I have a... Oh, wait, I didn't say this part. Budget, $3 million.
Okay.
Box office, $86 million. That's amazing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. I have a match game.
I have an FMK.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
So the FMK for you, my friend, is Igor.
Okay.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
And the monster.
Oh, this is easy. Very easy. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I think it's easy too. I'm ready.
Effing the monster.
Mm-hmm.
See what all the fuss is about. I'm marrying Igor because he is so
He's
dang
he would be so
funny.
fun to hang out with.
I think I would be laughing all day long.
Imagine playing cards with him, like
my god! And then killing the doctor.
Yeah, I gave you that one. That was an easy one.
Yeah. Would you say the same?
Yep, actually, absolutely the same.
Okay, Christina. Well, Dr. Frankenstein is making a new monster.
Oh boy.
This time made exclusively of dead celebrities. Unfortunately, there was a mix-up at the lab, and the monster got the vocal cords of blank. Really? Could it really be anybody with a super annoying voice? Well, unfortunately, the monster ended up with the vocal cords of blank. There's a mix-up. Fine, ding, double ding.
Triple dog.
What is wrong with you in this episode?
You are the one.
Because you...
Very offensive.
All right, here we go.
It started with you thinking I was attacking you.
Dr. Frankenstein is making a new monster.
You're going to laugh at this. You're going to be like, there's no...
Dead,
why would you even put that?
Dead celebrities. Unfortunately, there was a mix-up, and the monster ended up with the vocal cords of...
Well, I wish you had not said dead, because I would have said Fran Drescher. But... I couldn't think of anybody else.
Okay.
I said Betty Davis.
That's funny. I put Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh,
that'd be
nice.
Kind of hilarious if you walked around with Gilbert Gottfried's voice. Oh my goodness. Well, that, oh my God, that's like the messiest episode I think we've ever had.
I love it. I think it's so messy, and there we go. What else can you say? It's a messy episode, and
we'll try better next week, you guys. We'll try better next week.
At least this wasn't our Halloween episode, right?
That was Young Frankenstein. And that's it for us and for this episode of Old Roommates.
Thank you for listening. Please remember to follow us on Instagram or YouTube, where we have our episodes as well as a little extra.
And if you have any questions about our show, any suggestions for movies we could revisit, reach out to us at oldroommatespod@gmail.com.
Thanks again for listening.
This is Brian.
And this is Christina. Until next time.